Hello, CAT aspirants. Hope you are doing well. Welcome to another VA question. So here the VA question pertain to the Jumble question, or you can talk about ordering of the sentence. So the direction here points out that there are four sentences labeled. You can talk about one, one, and also two, and three, and four, right? Given below. So when properly sequenced, would produce a coherent paragraph. Decide on the proper sequence of the order of the sentences and key in the sequence of the four numbers as your answer. Now, look into it. If you talk about this particular statement, so what do you find out? You need to put them in the proper order. Like, let's read the sentences. The first sentence says, like the writer, the analyst was thinking hard how to balance the often competing imperatives of liberty and justice. As she, so you can talk about the analyst, as she told a friend, the suffering of those in France obsesses and overwhelms me to the point of annihilating my faculties, and the only way I can revive them and release myself from the obsession is by getting for myself a large share of danger and hardship. This particular letter, I think I would have caught the attention of one of the analysts. Equally important, she wanted to be sent to France in order to fight like the writer in the resistance. Now, so this kind of a question is to arrange uh, all those four sentences into a coherent paragraph by determining the proper sequence of the sentences. And the options are sequences of those four numbers representing the sentences. Now, if I look into these sentences, so what do we find out? The first sentence, beginning with the like the writer, shall not be indicating as the introducing sentence. And option sentence two also beginning with as she told, right? So doesn't seem like the beginning of the sentence. This particular letter means which particular letter the author is talking about. And four, equally important. Now, out of this four of the options, if I look into the first option, sentence one, which is stated like the writer, the analyst was thinking hard how to balance the often competing imperative to liberty and justice, that elaborates on the reference to the analyst, reference to the analyst, isn't it? From analyst, from you can talk about sentence three, isn't it, where it is stated this particular letter I think would have got the attention of one of the analyst. So, and like the writer, the analyst was also was thinking hard how to balance the often competing imperatives of liberty and justice. Now here you can find out it is a comparison between the analyst and the writer. So you would start with the three, which is stated one of the analyst, and then its comparison with what? Its comparison with the writer, isn't it? So, and therefore, you can say that means three comes first, three comes first as the first option, then one could be the next one, isn't it? So, 3 1 could be the means pair here. So, and if you talk about that sentence three, explaining that the what um, sentence three introduces the idea that a particular letter would have got the attention of an analyst, and this sets the stage for understanding the means what do we say that context of the following sentences. So we just take it that sentence three becomes the introductory introductory sentence, which is connecting to the option one, sentence one, which is comparing with the writer and stating about the stage for understanding the context of the following sentences. Now, uh, after making three and one as the pair, so where we identify sentence three explaining that the analyst, like the writer, was contemplating the balance between what? Liberty and justice. Liberty and justice. Right. This provides more context about the analyst perspective. Now, if I look into the next one, what do I find out? Four. which is stated equally important. Equally important means you are talking about, means liberty and justice both are equally important. So it builds on the mention of she from sentence one, indicating that the individual mentioned in sentence four wanted to be sent to France to fight in the resistance, similar to the writer. And this sentence further develops the context by introducing another character and their motivations, right? So, and therefore you can talk about when we say equally important, she wanted to be sent to France in order to fight like the writer. So here you find out equally important could be referring to liberty and justice, or you can say writer or the writer and the analyst, writer and the analyst, isn't it? So writer, or you can talk and the analyst, or you talk about liberty and justice. So in that case, you can point out 3, 1, and 4 would be the means a proper sequence, and the last one is called a 2. Now if you say that option 2 or sentence 2 conclude, sentence 2 does what? Now concludes the paragraph by providing additional insight into the individual mindset, explaining their response to the suffering in France and their need to experience danger and difficulty to overcome their obsession. So, in that case, you can say sentence 2 is indicating what? Indicating depth to the character's motivation, right? And also indicating about means uh, their mindset, explaining their response to the suffering in France and their need to experience danger and hardship to overcome their obsession. So this sentence adds depth to the character's motivation introduced in sentence 4. Therefore, you can point out 3142 would be the appropriate sequence that creates a coherent paragraph that flows logically from one sentence to the next sentence. Hence, we can consider the sequence should be 3142. I hope you understood this parajumbled question.